What's the situation?
The police are reporting that armed terrorists have attacked the Israeli athletes.
There's a hostage situation going on right now in the Olympic Village.
Thank you both so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it. This film completely blew me out of the water. Like, I knew about the events, but I didn't know just how it all went down. It was so crazy. But for you guys, what was it that made this need to be turned into a movie?
You know what? I also knew about the events, of course, of what happened before we started with this project, but I didn't know of what kind of an unprecedented situation it was the media faced. When we started to do the research, we learned, for example, that it was the first Olympics that was broadcast live globally via satellite. And also we learned that even before this tragic thing happened, these Olympics were a turning point in media history, because it was also the first Olympics on German soil since Hitler's Olympics of 1936, which were misused for fascist propaganda. And Germany wanted to send out a new image to the world, the new image of a liberal Germany after World War II. And for that, they have set up a never before seen media apparatus. It was also the first time that, for example, the venues were designed for optimal TV coverage. And then suddenly that whole apparatus had to switch from reporting on sports to reporting on this crisis. And this we found a really interesting premise, and a premise that's worth a movie.
You know, I think ABC Sports at that time, under Rune Arledge, who Peter Sarsgaard plays in the movie, you know, he was known for changing the way that sports reporting happened, and getting into the inner lives and the backgrounds of the athletes. And so in some ways, even though this was a sports team suddenly pivoting to the unknown territory, they were also somehow well positioned to kind of tell this story in a way that was emotional and gripping, and in tandem with this new technology. And obviously the legacy of that, you know, we still feel today in the way that news is made and reported.
Yeah. I mean, the movie's definitely heavy, emotional. There were moments I was crying, like it's a lot. My heart was pounding at certain moments, even though I knew the outcome. You still find yourself invested in the story. And I know it's sort of relevant today still, certain things. So what would you say to people to see this movie? Because some people might be worried it's too heavy.
Well, I think especially like for today's world, today everybody has a camera and a TV in their pocket, right? And especially for today's audience, I think it is interesting to see how a little bit more than 50 years ago, for the first time, something that like this was covered in live television, and this hopefully makes the audience reflect on how we consume news today.
Yeah, you know, it certainly there's heaviness in the movie. I think in other ways it's also very thrilling. It's entertaining. There's moments of humor, as you know. But I think what Tim's saying is a really sharp point, which is that, you know, this is a shared responsibility that we all have. And, you know, at this time of sort of seismic changes in our own world, you know, geopolitically and globally, you know, I think we all have to sometimes reckon with these questions of ethics. So I hope that, you know, with the heaviness, we've also delivered some good old-fashioned entertainment, and also some kind of, you know, connectedness of consciousness.
Yeah, I mean, you
and I also want to say, like, our movies are also a lot about what you don't see, right? I think that's the basic premise of the movie, is also that these people are, although it's happening like really close to them, they are inside that studio, and we are all the time with them inside that studio, and the only window that they have through that to the outside world is via their cameras. So it is also about what don't we see, actually.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, thank you guys so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love this movie, so I can't wait for everyone to see it.
If they shoot someone on live television, whose story is that? Is it ours or is it theirs?